I think like everybody's life journey, there are bumps along the road. And those are struggles that help to shape us into the individuals that we are. And I want to share a few of the bumps that I've had in my life's journey, because I want everybody to know that they're not alone, and that getting support through some of those struggles or bumps in the road is so beneficial and so helpful. The particular bump that I'd like to share started several years ago when I was experiencing burnout. I didn't know it was burnout at the time, but looking back, it definitely was. And basically, I was a practicing physical therapist. I had 2 small children at home, and life was busy. And it looked great on the outside, but I was actually pretty miserable. And there was one particular night I came home from work. It had been a particularly hard day treating patients, and I found myself crying on the edge of my bed. And I was crying because I couldn't believe where my life had gotten to. It had gotten so miserable and so uncomfortable, yet it looked really good on the outside, and I just didn't understand. I had worked so hard to create this life, yet felt so miserable. And I'm so blessed that I found the strength to share this with my husband, and he then also supported me to find someone to get to actually really help me out, which was a counselor. And it was through the work I did with the counselor that really helped me to work through my burnout, understand the level of anxiety that I was actually experiencing at the time, which was really high. I had a great experience with my counselor, and I basically got to this point that I'm gonna say it was like a graduation. I had gotten to a better place, and I really didn't need to see the counselor with such frequency as I was. And so she's like, if you need me, I'm here. It's okay if you need to come back. And I wanted more. So being the inquisitive person that I am, I went the route of looking for personal development and actually found a personal development coach. And it was working with this coach that I really started to improve my mental strengthening, so to speak. And I also discovered that a belief I had created in my childhood led to part of the overwhelm and burnout I had experienced a couple years prior. And that belief was that I was stupid. And this belief really started in elementary school for me. I loved to learn and continue to love to learn, but school was really hard. I would study for hours to do well on the test. Like, I have vivid memories of sitting at the kitchen table studying for math and spelling and getting to the test, feeling semi-confident about the test, but getting the test back and I had barely passed. And it was just so disheartening because I felt smart. And of course, my family and my teachers thought that there might be a learning disability, so I went and got tested. And I was actually tested several times throughout elementary school because it kept coming up. And what we discovered actually was that I didn't have a learning disability. And another very vivid memory is sitting in a testing center and the examiner passing over the sheet of paper of my test results to say, I don't know why Ashley's struggling in school because she doesn't have a learning disability. And it was in that moment in time that I internalized and said, you know what, the tests are right, I'm stupid. And there's no other explanation besides I'm just stupid. And so I took that throughout the rest of my life, definitely my educational career. And if we fast forward to graduate school, which was PT school, I really started to almost fail anatomy. And not because I didn't know the body parts, but I couldn't spell them. So I found a psychologist that did adult learning disability testing and got tested, and lo and behold, I am a high-functioning partial dyslexic. And all of a sudden, my life made sense. But things just didn't improve from there. It took me about 10 years to actually fully accept myself as a dyslexic, and that it's an actual unique ability that allows me to see the world in an amazing way. I wouldn't have been able to sit here and tell you that if I hadn't gone through the counseling, if I hadn't gone through and continued with beyond that with my personal development coach, because it's through that work and the support that both of these women provided for me that really allowed me to see that I am a unique person, that I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I have the ability to create massive impact in the world. And so it was through that support that really allowed me to do that. And one of the things that I really wanted to share today is that, it's human nature to be in a community, to have support. And we all very much felt what it meant, or felt like, I should say, to not experience community through the recent pandemic. That isolation was really hard for a lot of people. And I just want to bring to light that it was because we're naturally, as human beings, meant to be a part of a community. And so when we are a part of a community and you have a team that supports you, then you can rise to any level that you want. And that team, that support system includes, for me, a therapist, a personal development coach, and of course my family and friends, and a wonderful community of women through the personal development space that I have now come to love and be supported by them and be able to support them as well. And so it's just amazing when you have that community around you that you are able to be your best self and to work through those struggles, those road bumps along the way.